Most people have this in common: learning how to drive. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. You have to so hear this. I don't know if you were in this position, either as a teenager or a parent, but wait till you hear how this mom is instructing her child how to drive.
How do I do this?
Right, now don't panic. Get into first. The car is on. Right, ready? I'm going to drop the clutch, put the revs on.
Yep.
And let the clutch out gently. Revs.
Yep, go. I've stalled it.
Now, rev it up. And slowly. Yep, keep revving. Wow! Careful! Right. Kieran, stick to the left.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Oh.
About burn the rubber.
Sorry, I had to get out of that.
You even hear the dad in the back seat. Mom is just so animated.
Her eyes are popping out of her head, and she's watching a mailbox go by. She's like, oh, oh.
She's screaming the entire ride. I don't know if I could have been her child trying to navigate through all of that.
I mean, he had a pretty good attitude about it. He knew he was messing up royally. It was, so then if
I couldn't. I'm sorry. I can't.
You can't what?
Have a mom next to me screaming as I'm learning how to drive. I'd be so nervous.
So I think I was that mom with my daughter teaching her a manual. She had gotten like a VW Bug, and it was manual. And
Stick shift?
Yes.
No.
And I love to drive a stick shift. It's so much fun. So anyway, we're going, in the neighborhood, and she is burning the clutch out. And I'm just like, oh, my goodness. Finally, I said, just stop. Just stop. And I made her get out, and I got in, and I was like, we're going home. I couldn't take it. So from then on, Joey took over.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So Scott's a great dad, but there was something with a U-Haul and your father, Scott.
Yeah. You can have several years of driving under your belt and still have some mishaps. We were moving. He was in a U-Haul. We were driving a U-Haul and hungry, in between the trips, and pulled into an Arby's drive-thru, placed our order, and then as we were pulling around, all of a sudden we heard this loud just noise, and we're like, uh-oh. And apparently he had scraped the protective cover of the air conditioning unit at that Arby's with the U-Haul.
How?
And we kind of look at each other like, what do we do? Well, so we just grab our food and go.
Grab and go, huh?
May I answer, what do we do? Not take a U-Haul through a drive-thru.
Yeah.
Right. That was probably not a wise decision.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Here's an experience that a mom and son have when she's teaching him how to drive.
Yep, keep revving. Wow!
Could you imagine being next to a mom that is screaming while you're learning how to drive?
Wait a minute. Can you imagine being next to a kid that doesn't know what he's doing? I'm sorry.
So, Ninja, one of our producers, was it middle school? Is this right? You learned how to drive in middle school?
It must have been middle school. It might have even been younger. But we were in the church parking lot, and my dad's like, "Hey, let's learn how to drive." So I sit in his lap because I was too short to touch the little pedals. And he's got his coffee from church. And I drive over one of those little speed bump thingies, and the coffee goes all over him.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't learn to drive with him again.
Mom was on the job from then on.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow. Okay, so here's John at 800-447-7234, and he wants to write a rule for traffic.
Okay.
Write a rule. Okay, what is it, John?
But I'm doing at least the speed limit. Please do not ride my bumper like I'm driving 30. I'm driving the speed limit. People, pay attention to it.
So it sounds like yours is, I shall not tailgate.
Have a safe drive home tonight.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Happy birthday to Estelle. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. So she was born September 1st, 1915. That makes her 108 years old. She knows the secret to a long life. This is what they did this big celebration at her church that she goes to, and her pastor is Dr. Carl Poole at the Memorial Baptist Church. And here's what the secret to long life for Estelle is. Are you ready for this? It's going to shock you. Ready for this? Honor your father and mother. And that's the secret to a long life. Honor your father and mother. And she's lived by this.
She has lived by this. In fact, her favorite scripture, she says, is Exodus 20:12. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. So she lives by that scripture, always has respected mom and dad, honored them. Also, she does add a little something else to it. Her longevity.
Yeah.
A lot of vegetables and cornbread.
And cornbread.
And cornbread. She said, you
Come
cannot
on
listen.
now.
Estelle knows you cannot have vegetables without cornbread. And she has lived to 108, so she knows what she's talking
And
about.
I love how Cannon Memorial Baptist Church
Yes.
did this big celebration just for her during the service.
She's been there a while. Listen.
Right?
Everybody knows her and loves her.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
There seems to be a secret to a long life. At least for Estelle, she's 108 years old. She says, honor your father and your mother, you live a long life. Even the scripture says that, right?
Oh, yeah. And she also throws in you got to have vegetables and cornbread all the time.
Good, healthy diet. The cornbread thrown in there,
Just
Okay.
makes it.
So Crystal is here, and she says, she's heard about the secret to having a long life. What is
good.
it, Crystal?
We were talking yesterday at work, and one of the other therapists knows a lady who lived to be 104. She said, don't listen to the doctors. You don't have to eat your vegetables, but drink a Dr. Pepper a day. And the lady, like I said, lived to be 104 years old and healthy as a horse.
Wow. A Dr. Pepper to clean everything out.
No veggies, a Dr. Pepper, you're good forever.
That's right.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
DJ is a really cool kid. He's 5, getting ready to do the kindergarten thing, and he has a favorite toy. It's a Woody doll from like Toy Story.
Oh, that's great.
So his mom, DJ's mom, Wendy, wanted to make Woody kind of represent DJ. He is hearing impaired.
Okay.
And he wears a hearing aid. And so she was like, she kept looking for things that she could use to help represent her son. And she was like, you know what? I can just do this by myself. She created a hearing aid for the toy.
No.
She used like nail polish to paint it, basically, I mean, she tricked out this Woody doll for her son, and now he has a toy that represents him.
Good for her.
Way to go, Mom.
Right?
Just seeing the need and then thinking, how can I handle this on my own? Because I can't find anything in the store, and Woody is his favorite doll. So there you go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, coming up on Tuesday, I'm so excited about this. In fact, Ninja and I, this is our one of our favorite TV shows in the world, Great British Baking Show. And the new season comes up on Tuesday. They have a contest. This is through some company that wants to pay you to watch Great British Baking Show.
Ooh, okay.
I need to get my entry in before Ninja.
Is this one person?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like Ninja. It's you and Liz up against each other to win this opportunity.
It's neck and neck.
It is neck
I
and
can already
neck.
feel it.
So if you were to write an essay, I'm going to ask Ninja this. How would you outdo Liz if you were to write an essay on why you should be the one picked to watch the what is it?
Great British Baking Show.
That thing.
Dearest Paul Hollywood,
Hollywood.
I am the one who should be chosen because you know it in your heart.
Okay, well, that convinced me.
Okay. Okay, my turn?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Dearest Paul and Prue. Prue is the other judge.
You can't add an accent in a letter.
Oh, yes, I can.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
My boys were completely freaked out when we went to this place when they were a little kid. Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
I had no idea that Liz's kids were into Chuck E. Cheese.
My
which
daughter
was a big
was.
deal. Really?
Yeah, and the boys were a good bit younger, freaked out by the singing mice and bear and whatever
Freaked
it was.
out?
Like they would start, and one of the boys, I won't call him out, was just like, "Ah!" Like, no, get me out of here.
Boy, I'd be curious to know which one. Okay, so they're doing free birthdays today, or giving away 500 across the nation free birthday parties.
That's so cool.
And it's only today. I think you got to go there to win it or something like that. But Scott has been a Chuck E. Cheese fan his whole life.
I have. I'm sad that a whole generation is going to miss out on eating pizza and watching dancing rodents on stage because they're getting rid of all those animatronics and I think replacing it with like an interactive dance floor or whatever. But I went there as a kid, took my son there a few years ago, right before they got rid of the little stage performance. So we enjoyed it.
Hold up. An interactive dance floor. So is this now Chuck E. Cheese for adults? Like,
It's
is
like
there
a little disco? They have the floor that lights up, as you step on it, the different lights.
Now, there's no glow sticks or anything like that.
There's a disco
come
ball.
on. Yeah. Okay.
It's a party.
I haven't wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese in a while, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So I was really into Queen Elizabeth. Her birthday is April 21st. She would have been 100 years old in 2026.
Oh, in 2026?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like soon, so I was off.
No, 2026 is when she was going to celebrate 100, but she passed away at 96. So anyway, they're planning a big thing for her, and it takes a lot of plan and preparation. So they've even gone to the people of England, of the UK, to say, how should we honor Queen Elizabeth II? I mean, she was on the throne 70 some odd years, something like that.
Forever, yeah.
And so people are saying, okay, there needs to be a memorial, but there also needs to be a way to give back to needy people in the UK.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah, so it's in the beginning planning stages, and I'm thinking maybe a trip in 2026.
Oh, for Liz?
I mean,
She wants to go and be a part of it.
I had tea with the Queen when my husband and I went a couple of years ago.
Okay, you're going to have to say, you have to hear this. How did Liz have tea with Queen Elizabeth?
Okay, so we get to Windsor Castle, and her flag is flying to say that there is a monarch on property. And it was her. It was Queen Elizabeth. So she was in Windsor Castle when I was taking my tour, and I stopped, and I had tea and crumpets.
Because she was in the building.
I mean, we were within maybe a mile of each other.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I used to watch the mailbox around my birthday, around Christmas, because I knew my grandmama was going to send me a card, and it was going to have a $50 bill in it.
No way. My grandmother would do the same thing. Not $50. I would get like $1 or $2.
Well, yeah, that was from my other grandma. She would send like $1 or $2, but grandma from Ohio, she would slip $50 in there, and it was like,
Nice grandma.
we're going to the mall. Like, loved it. But now you got to worry that if you put cash in a card, that it may not be in the mailbox.
Oh, that's true. There's too many people that are porch pirates and then going right through your mailbox.
Right?
I know. That's kind of sad.
It's sad. Well, Hallmark, the card people said, oh, we can fix that. So now you can buy Hallmark cards that will give you a QR code so that you can scan it, put some money into a Venmo, through Venmo.
Okay.
And then the person who receives it scans the QR code and they get their money that way.
No way.
Isn't that cool?
That's very ingenious.
And then you don't have to worry about it. My mama still puts money in a card. Why did I just say that? Now somebody's going to check my mailbox.